If you watch the 4th hour of Today on February 7th, 2026, you could feel it before anything was said. The set looked the same. Sunlight pouring through Studio 1A, coffee mugs steaming, the usual hum of morning energy. But something in the air was heavier. Then Jenna Hager pivoted off script. No playful book club tease. No easy banter. Just a breath and a sentence that shifted the room. With everything happening to Savannah, it's time. It wasn't explosive in delivery. It was quiet, intentional. The kind of tone that makes producers glance up from their monitors. For weeks, viewers had been watching Savannah Guthrie navigate her mother's disappearance with composure. But Jenna's words suggested there was more beneath the surface. More history, more humanity, more shared weight than anyone at home fully understood. More than desk partners. To understand why that moment mattered, you have to understand their bond. Jenna and Savannah aren't just co-workers rotating segments. They are two women who entered the same pressure cooker from different doors and decided to stand shoulder to shoulder inside it. Savannah, the seasoned journalist who climbed through legal reporting and national politics before anchoring mornings. Jenna, the former first daughter who carved her own lane in media after years of public scrutiny. When they began working closely after the show's internal upheaval in 2018, they didn't just build chemistry, they built trust. On air, it looks effortless. The laughter, the teasing, the eye contact that says, "I've got you." Off air, that connection deepened through family milestones, career crossroads, and private conversations that never made headlines. Jenna's confession didn't come from nowhere. It came from years of shared trenches. The weight Savannah has carried. Since Nancy's disappearance, viewers have praised Savannah's steadiness. She has delivered public messages with clarity and restraint, thanking supporters before addressing demands, keeping her tone measured even when emotion flickered at the edges. It has looked like grace under fire. And it is. But grace does not cancel grief. Savannah is not only a broadcaster managing a national story, she is a daughter facing unbearable uncertainty. Jenna's point, beneath the emotion, seems simple. The woman viewers see on camera is the same woman who has been quietly caring more than most realize for years. Strength has always been Savannah's reflex. But reflexes form for reasons, and sometimes they protect as much as they conceal. Jenna, at 44. At 44, Jenna is in her own season of clarity. She has grown from the young woman navigating White House spotlights into a mother of 3 and a confident media presence in her own right. She has spoken openly about mistakes in her early 20s, about growth, about therapy, about learning to separate public image from private identity. That self-awareness shapes how she sees the people around her. When she looked into that camera and said Savannah had been her anchor in rough moments, it didn't feel rehearsed. It felt lived. Jenna understands what it means to be judged from a distance. She understands how easy it is for viewers to create tidy narratives about complicated lives. Her decision to speak may not have been about revelation as much as recognition, an attempt to remind people that resilience has roots. The green room memory. During the segment, Jenna referenced a night years ago when she broke down in a green room after criticism cut deeper than expected. Savannah, she said, didn't offer platitudes. She offered perspective. Own it, she told her. We're survivors. It wasn't a glamorous exchange. It was honest. And honesty builds bonds faster than compliments ever could. That memory mattered because it flipped the common perception. Viewers often assume Savannah is the unshakable one and Jenna the emotional open book. But relationships are rarely that simple. They trade roles. They lean back and forth. Jenna's story reminded people that behind every polished broadcast are moments of vulnerability shared in private spaces. Those spaces, not the studio lights, are where trust forms, timing and questions. Of course, some viewers question the timing. With an active investigation ongoing and emotions already heightened, was it the right moment to open old chapters? Was Jenna protecting her friend by humanizing her, or unintentionally adding more attention to an already intense spotlight? Those questions are fair. Public grief is delicate territory, but intent matters. Nothing in Jenna's tone suggested opportunism. If anything, she appeared protective, careful not to disclose details that weren't hers to share. She stopped short of specifics, choosing instead to speak about loyalty and long-standing promises to be truthful with one another. Sometimes, what looks like a dramatic reveal is simply someone refusing to let their friend stand alone in silence. Friendship under pressure. Morning television is built on familiarity. Viewers invite hosts into kitchens and living rooms daily. But that familiarity can blur boundaries. When crisis hits, audiences crave insight. They want to understand what's happening behind the curtain. Yet, friendship doesn't dissolve under public curiosity. It often tightens. Jenna's words felt less like vault cracking and more like a signal flare. This is a human being you're watching, not just a headline. In high-pressure environments, alliances can fray. In this case, the opposite seems true. If anything, adversity has clarified how much these two women rely on one another, not for ratings, but for grounding. The public reaction, within hours, clips circulated widely. Supporters praised the candor. Critics wondered whether the show had drifted into personal territory. Social media, predictably, split into applause and skepticism. But beneath the noise was a quieter reaction. Empathy. Many viewers saw themselves in the exchange. Friends who held each other through career doubts, family strain, health scares, the messy middle of adulthood. At 44 and 54, Jenna and Savannah represent two chapters of womanhood that overlap more than they diverge. They are mothers balancing ambition and tenderness. They are professionals navigating public expectations. And now, they are friends weathering uncertainty together in real time. Not a grenade, a mirror. So was it a truth serum or a timed grenade? Perhaps neither. Perhaps it was a mirror. Jenna's confession didn't expose secrets so much as reflect complexity. It reminded us that composure doesn't equal invulnerability, and that strength often hides stories we don't fully see. Savannah's poise in recent weeks has been remarkable, but it is not the absence of pain. It is the management of it. Jenna's role may simply be to stand beside her and say, "I know what this costs." That is not sabotage. That is solidarity. The question beneath it all. In the end, the segment wasn't about drama. It was about devotion. About one woman choosing to say, on a national stage, that her friend is more than the calm face delivering updates. As the investigation continues and the future remains uncertain, perhaps the most meaningful takeaway is this. Behind every headline are relationships that don't fit neatly into sound bites. Whether you see Jenna's words as bold or risky, they carried one unmistakable message. Savannah is not alone. Sometimes, In moments like these, that's the only truth that really